Hey there, YouTube. Oh, it is about to get dark out right now here where I am. I just got to the club. I guess I was able to get out and come into work today. I really didn't think that I was going to be able to because I did the past Sunday, Monday, Tuesday night shifts. Almost 10 hours for each of those, just about. And I wasn't able to do last Wednesday. So yeah, it's tough for me to get 4 shifts in a row like that. Sometimes I'm able to do it, but not very often. At least not for a while, maybe a few weeks, I don't know, a month or so ago, a couple months back, I was doing pretty good with that. But, as it gets colder and colder out here, it's getting more and more difficult. Not that it wasn't already difficult before. And then, yeah, also my period is coming up next week. So, but you know what? I don't want to jinx it. I'm actually feeling pretty good today. I don't know, maybe it was me doing the video that I did with my dancer friend Taz last night. That probably has something to do with it, which honestly, I don't know. I just really like her. Like, how can you not? But like when I did watch that video, and I mean, I do feel good now, which is awesome. Like, I very rarely feel good. But when I watched that video back, I did like it. But then it's so difficult to sit next to her, because I'm self-conscious and I struggle with the way that I look regardless. Like, anyways, I very rarely am happy with the way that I, look. Um, But then, like, every now and then I can kind of feel a little bit okay about it. Like, in the videos that I do here in my car, I'm able to work with the angles and the lighting to where I can kind of try to get it a little bit more to like how I feel somewhat better about it sometimes. But then in the dressing room that Taz and I have been doing our videos from at the club, I especially don't like the way that I look in there. That lighting in there and just the angles that we do, sitting on the bar stools, I really, really hate the way that I look in those videos. But then also, especially sitting next to Taz, I mean, she's like probably the most gorgeous human I've ever seen. I mean, she's up there, you know what I mean? There's a lot of gorgeous dancers here at the club that I work at, but she's definitely, if not the top, I mean, she's right up there. There's some gorgeous girls here, and she is definitely one of them. I don't know, I feel like sitting next to her, it's like sitting next to like a more slender brunette, like Marilyn Monroe almost. Like, her face is just so sultry and perfect and gorgeous, and like all of her from head to toe. And like I said, I already don't like the way that I look in that dressing room, especially. So me sitting next to her, I just feel like this lumberjack, or like just really, really bad about myself. And but regardless of that, I still really enjoy doing videos with her because she's just so chill. Like, it's so cool to me because her being that gorgeous, like, her personality is still so chill and down to earth. And she's literally like the chillest person that I know. Like, she really is literally every guy's fantasy, or just about every guy, unless the guy's like not straight or something, I don't know. But like, seriously though, she's like everything I wish I could be, like looks wise, but also personality wise. Like, she's just so chill, and like, just feel like she's perfect, like looks and on the inside, and her personality. So yeah, like, my self-esteem does kind of like take even more of a hit than it already does anyways. But then sitting next to her, yeah, just like even more so. I'm just like, damn. But I don't know, I'm still feeling good today. I'm still feeling like I still have more energy. I feel like I'm in a good mood. Still proud of myself for doing that video last night, and for getting out today to do this one. Because yeah, my period is coming up yet again, and you know, I struggle with a lot of things that I've mentioned on here in my channel before. So this video, I'm gonna try to keep it, I say this a lot, but I'm really going to try to keep this video on the shorter side today, because it is getting dark out. It's about to be dark here. And also, I did that video here at the club with Taz last night, and then also before that, yesterday, before my shift at the club, earlier that afternoon, I had done a video that was 100 minutes long, so an hour and 40 minutes, and in order for me to try to have somewhat of a better stream quality compared to the Wi-Fi connection that I get here on my phone at the club, and most places actually, I've been using the data to stream my videos, the data on my phone, and the plan that I'm on, I only get 30 gigs of data a month, I guess. So yesterday, before I did my videos yesterday, I think I was at 21.6 gigs, and after the videos I did yesterday, I was at 28. So depending on how long this one ends up being, I'm assuming it's definitely probably going to go over the 28 gigs. So I guess that's like, once you go over your data, that like will slow down your internet, or sometimes there's charges. This plan that I'm on is still very new to me, so I'm not too sure exactly how it's going to go. And if this does, or when this does go over the 30 gigs of data that I have for my limit on my plan, this will be my first time trying to do a stream with that being the case. So this will be like an experimental kind of video, I guess, for me to see how the stream quality and upload speed is able to do with that breach of my data cap or data limit or whatever you would call it. Oh wow, the sky is really pretty right now. And we did have some sun here today, thank gosh. Last week was so cloudy and gray, so it's nice to have some sun this week. But you know, I am really proud of myself for being able to get out and about and work today, or I'm about to work today or tonight. But I didn't really get to experience much of the sun today. I got out just a few minutes ago, you know, and maybe with like an hour of daylight left, which, oh well, at least I got out at all, I guess, you know. One thing I wanted to try to remember to mention in this video, I've talked a lot about some of the DJs that I used to work with at the club here in the past. There were two DJs in particular that used to work here quite a few years ago. I haven't seen either of them in a while, but back when I used to work with them, they would both give me a really hard time with some stuff, and it was just a really messed up situation there for a while for me. You know, like some shit went down, and it was really a bad situation for me, and they were both pretty mean to me a lot of the time, and pretty cruel and, you know, messed up. But one of them especially, I worked with one of them much longer than the other one, and they would kind of come and go here at the club throughout the years. So pretty much since like 2015, 16, maybe 17, pretty much since like around that time frame, they had worked here up until I think like 2023. I think it was, yeah, the very start of 2023. So I remember they left January of 2023. So I wouldn't even really count 2023 for them being here. I would say it was probably from like 2017 to 2022. So like, yeah, 6 years or so, I think it was. And throughout that time period, they would like, you know, work for a year or two or however many months at a time. And they didn't work here that entire time, like in a row. But it was like throughout those years, they were here, you know, pretty consistently, and we worked together a lot, and we had a very strange kind of interaction. We were never really together or anything, like we were never a couple or a thing, but the interactions that we had were very, he was just very mean to me, especially the other DJ was too, but this guy was like, it was more confusing for me with him, because every now and then he would be kind of nice to me, or like cordial or normal, and then with most other people, it seemed, most of the other dancers, he was usually pretty nice. Not always. He was very like different with his moods a lot of the times. Like you could never really tell exactly how he was going to be. Um, you know, and he said he had like mental health issues and stuff, and so, but anyways, long story short, with my point just is that this dress that I'm wearing, every now and then he would be kind of nice to me. And one of the times where he was taking a break from working here at the club, um, I was wearing this dress and I gave him a hug. It was actually almost right near the same parking spot that I'm in right now. A lot of times I'll park on the other side, not the other, like this way, other side, but to my right. I would park more towards that way, but those spaces are taken by other vehicles right now, so I'm parked more towards the left of the front entrance. And this is literally, I think, pretty much the same spot that I was parked, or where we had that hug so many years ago. I remember I was wearing this dress, and just the way that the fabric is, like the sleeves, you can see it's like a pretty sheer, like loose kind of fabric with the sleeves especially. So to hug somebody with this dress on and this material, it just felt very interesting to me, like, because I can feel the fabric on my arms feels really kind of like interesting. And I remember it was cold out that night. I don't think it was fully winter, but yeah, this was, I remember saying to him, I had like pulled out of the parking lot to leave, and then I turned around and came back because he was still standing in the parking lot. He smoked cigarettes a lot, so a lot of times he would be standing outside in the parking lot smoking a cigarette. So that was the case this night, and I was leaving out the parking lot. I had pulled out, I turned around, came back just like a minute or two later while he was standing outside smoking a cigarette, because I wanted to give him a hug because I knew that he was going to be leaving after that night and taking a break. This wasn't when he left for good, this past January of 2023. This was before that, like a few years before that, when he was taking one of his breaks from working at the club before he fully stopped and completely just left the club, like fully stopped working here. But I didn't know that at the time. At the time, I thought that that time could have been his last time for good working here. So I pulled back around into the parking lot to give him a hug, and I said that to him. I was like, I might never see you again. And so, you know, like I said, he was usually pretty rude to me and pretty mean to me, but every now and then he would be kind of nice. And when I gave him the hug that night, he hugged me back. Anyways, it's not like a big deal. It's not like really worth mentioning, but I did want to mention it wearing this dress because that's literally what this dress reminds me of every time I wear it. But, you know, I'm just kind of like weird and silly like that, I guess. But, so, oh, yeah, I was thinking too, watching my video that I did with Taz last night. I mean, she always looks completely gorgeous and perfect, but out of the 3 videos that we've done together last night, that was our 3rd. And I think this is the best that she's looked in our videos so far. The first 2, like I said, obviously the first 2, she looked gorgeous too, but last night, that was the best that I've seen so far of her. And like, she's been practicing. I can tell she's been practicing for this shit. Like, cause yeah, the first video that we did was obviously my idea because that time, you know, like I don't think she had known about my YouTube until for the first one that we did. But then the second video that we did, and then the third one that we did last night, those times were her idea to come on here, like where she had approached me to do the videos. So yeah, she's been practicing, you guys, for sure. And oh my gosh, she's so gorgeous. And she mentioned in the video last night, like maybe for ideas of other kinds of videos we could do in the future, of doing like different types of things, because last night that video was my 3rd time interviewing her with that style of video. So I honestly still could come up with a lot more questions. I still have new questions for her already in my brain, but just to maybe switch it up and do a different style of video with her maybe in the future. She had mentioned last night like doing maybe a fashion show, like with different outfits and stuff. But then for me personally, like it's not that I don't like that idea, but for that type of thing, I would rather just see her in the outfits doing the fashion show, because for me, again, I'm very self-conscious with how I look, and I really don't think that I would like how I look in anything. I would just feel like, like crap even more again. Like I wouldn't like any of the outfits on me, but I would probably love them on her. So maybe if anything, it could just be like her doing the fashion show with like me like rating the outfits or like doing the commentary or something. But that actually gave me another kind of idea that I thought would be very like possibly pretty funny, or for me it would be funny, I think. Like, what if we did a video where I tried to dress up like her and she tried to dress up like me, and like, Taz, I apologize, I'm so sorry, I know I wouldn't want to do that to you or anybody else, have them look like me, but just for kicks, just for shits and giggles, for maybe the audience and just for me too. But because the wig that I was wearing last night, this one is obviously pretty bushy and thick and heavy. I pretty much just wear these bigger, curlier wigs on top of my normal one that I have underneath. I wear these top curly ones mostly just to try to stay warm. Like these wigs, the curly, bushy ones, they aren't for summer, that's for sure. They're for when it's cold out, and they're mostly to try to stay warm. This one is different than the one that I was wearing last night. This one I do like a little better. Whereas the wig, the curly wig that I was wearing in my video with Taz last night, well, in both of my videos from yesterday, I really don't like that wig. And I know it reminds me of Bozo the Clown. It just is not flattering. And I was thinking about it and I was like, I really don't think that wig would be flattering on anyone. But to put that theory to the test, what if Taz were to wear that wig in one of our future videos? Just to see. Because I'm trying, she's so perfect and so gorgeous. And she actually did used to be a blonde. Like, she's brunette now, and then in our first video she was a redhead. But I think a few years ago, or I know at some point, she was a blonde, and like light blonde too. I think she's a natural blonde. But anyways, so the wig last night, I think it would be so funny. I just want to see what she would look like in that, because again, she's so gorgeous. So it's like, well, let's just see what it looks like. Because for anyone to wear that wig, it's like, it's like a Bozo the Clown wig. It's just so ridiculous looking. And it's really just for me to try to stay warm, and videos in the past that I've done on here wearing that wig, I've gotten some very mean comments. Like, it really seems to bring out, like, other people think so too, obviously. And like, usually the meanest comments that I've gotten here on this channel with my videos, I think most of them are from when I'm wearing that wig that I was wearing last night. But I really think it'd be funny just to see what she would look like in it, and to have her like maybe try to like, yeah, dress up like me. And me try to, because I have wigs that would match the hair color that she has now. I have some, like brunette wigs, and that are more of like a straight hairstyle, or like slightly wavy, kind of like how her hair is now. I pretty much have wigs that look like how her hair is now. So I could wear a wig like that to try to look more like her, and just like try to get all glammed up, which obviously it wouldn't come close to how she looks, but just as like a kind of weird spoof. I remember I saw an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians one time where Kris, the mom, and then the sisters, they all tried to dress up as each other, like different members from the family. And that shit was actually pretty hilarious, because every single one of them that did that, the other person that they were trying to dress up and be like and impersonate, they got that shit to a T. Every single one of them. Like, they were all like, they all did a really good job at that shit. So anyway, so that was an idea, and I didn't come up with that idea like on the spot in the moment when Taz and I were doing the video last night, when she mentioned the idea that she had for the fashion show. I actually came up with that idea later on, after the shift had ended and after I had gone back to my apartment and was like going to bed and stuff, and just like watching the video over and like, just thinking, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then that idea came to me eventually later that night. So I haven't mentioned that to her yet. I haven't seen her yet to mention that to her, but I definitely want to see what she would think about it. Oh my gosh, I think that could be really funny. So, because that would really be the test. Like, would anybody be able to look good in that wig? Because if anybody would be able to look good in anything, it would probably be her. So, but yeah, I really shouldn't wear that wig again, ever, because it's such a Bozo the Clown looking type thing. And I mean, this one serves the same purpose. Like, this one still is the same style and like can provide more warmth for my head. So I don't know why I still bother to wear that other one that I wore yesterday. I like to tell myself the blonde colors in it. It's a different shade of blonde, obviously, so the colors go better with different outfits that I wear, but really I should try to make a point to never wear that again. And just make Taz wear it at some point. That could be funny. Okay, what else? Oh. I think that's almost okay. I do technically have more things written down, but it's very cold. My car is not on right now. You know, so my phone's not charging, the heat's not on, very cold, getting dark out, etc., etc. And also the thing with the data, I'm about to go over on my data. I probably just did like minutes ago or shortly after I started this video. Oh, but another thing about doing that video last night, I was proud of myself because I was tempted to ask Taz to ask the manager to unlock the dressing room because yeah, the dressing room that we had done those videos from, or that video and also the other videos that we've done here at the club, that dressing room is usually locked. Not always, but it usually is. And the manager that was on shift last night, I had never asked them to unlock it before, and I really only asked, I think there's five, maybe six. I always forget if it's 5 or 6. But there's 5 or 6 managers that work here currently. And up until last night, I had only asked 2 of them to unlock that dressing room before in the past, but mostly just one of them, my favorite manager. And then I had only asked the second manager. They're actually the one that's here today right now. I had asked them only one time before. So the manager last night, that was the 3rd manager I've asked to unlock that dressing room, but that was my first time asking them. They were really nice about it though. They did it right away, like no issues there, which was awesome. But I'm just glad that I like pushed myself for me to be the one to ask them to do that, because again, it was tempting to just, because Taz and I were talking about doing the video obviously before we started doing it. And I almost wanted to just be like, Taz, can you ask the manager to unlock the dressing room so I wouldn't have to be the one to ask them? But then I was like, no, that's okay. Like, I'm gonna just, you know, suck it up and be brave, and I'll ask them myself. Like, you know, like, this is good practice for me to, you know, just stop being such a pansy about everything, or try to stop. It's just good practice because yeah, I just have a really hard time asking people for things, like a really hard time. I can't stand being told no. It like crushes my soul too much, and like I don't want to like put up a fight and like be a hassle and be a problem with stuff if I am told no. But then again, like because I'm too scared to put up a fight about it or like really push it, I'll accept the no as best I can, but it like crushes my soul and it just like brings me down so much that I like can't really push past it for a while afterwards. So it's really difficult, and just like a pride thing, I guess, like ego bruising, I don't know. I've just always had a really difficult time asking people for things, like anything pretty much. And if I do, it really takes a lot for me to do it. But anyways, yeah, I was proud of myself for, you know, doing that video last night, even though I felt like crap and looked like crap and wasn't really like ready. Like, I never feel ready to do things, you know, really, but I still wanted to do it because it's fun. And, you know, I'm clearly in a good mood now. I have a lot more energy right now than I usually feel like I have. I think also because this past week, I did work Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, the past 3 nights, but rather than doing the full 10-hour shifts, I left a tiny bit early. Well, last night I stayed until close, but I didn't really do as much on the pole last night. I tried to pace myself and take it a little easier. And then Sunday and Monday, I left a little bit earlier. I think Sunday I left an hour earlier, and Monday I left like half an hour earlier until close. So it's still almost the full shift, you know, like it's still almost the full 10 hours for me, but a little bit less, you know. I'm just trying to pace myself a little more and work more throughout the week or do more throughout the week instead of having everything for the week be concentrated in just those 3 or 4 nights for the 10 hours, you know, just so I can say that I did the full 10 hours. I think it's also because, yeah, as dancers here at this club that I work at, we do pay to work here. So with that in mind, like it's two separate things too. It's the house fee and then it's also the separate promotional fee. So, you know, it's costly. Every single cent is costly for me. I mean, I really hardly make anything here. You know, customers here don't like me and I a lot of times don't like them either. Sometimes I do, sometimes I do. I try to. And sometimes I just really do, but so yeah, just like with paying to work here, it's like, well, damn, I want to get my money's worth. So that is a big part of the reason I stay until close when I'm doing more of a night shift or like a swing shift. You know, day shift, obviously that's usually not the case, but I don't do as many day shifts lately. Lately I've been doing more of like an afternoon into night shift. And then yeah, it's like with that being the case, once I'm here for the evening, for the night, and I know that I'm gonna be doing the night shift, it's like I might as well just stay till close because I paid to do it. I paid to work here, kind of thing. So I might as well, you know, try to get my money's worth. But anyways, well, it's officially dark out here right now. Just about anyways. It's on its way. It's very shortly it'll be a dark, dark sky. Right now it's like a dark, dusty blue. It's a pretty color. It's been a very pretty sky this afternoon and evening. But it was great to get to come on and do this today. It's about half an hour, this video, it looks like. So it'll be interesting to see how much over my data limit I'll be at after doing this video. I guess depending on how this goes, maybe for the rest of the month until my data refreshes for the next month, maybe I'll have to try to go back to doing the Wi-Fi version, which would really suck because all the Wi-Fi videos that I've done recently on here with the live streams have been very wonky and very staticky and very choppy, and they freeze up a lot and yada yada. But you know, it's almost the end of the month and I'll just have to try to keep that in mind for next month, for December, to just maybe try to keep my videos a little bit more on the shorter side, not like hours and hours like they are sometimes, to try to, you know, space out my data a little bit more and that kind of thing as best I can. But I think this will be my 99th video here right now. So I really hope this one at least does okay. And then the next video that I do after this will be my 100th video here on this channel, which it would really suck for that one to be bad quality, you know, like I really hope this one does okay. So I don't know, we'll see, I guess. But that's really exciting to me that my next video is going to be 100, my 100th video for this channel. So, and then shortly after that, yeah, I guess hopefully my data is going to refresh for the next month, next week at some point, or pretty soon. Today is November, either 19th or 20th. Crap. One of the two. I think it's the 19th. November 20th is the birthday of the guy that took my virginity back in high school. I still remember that shit. He was a Scorpio too. I'm a Scorpio, he's a Scorpio. I still remember that guy, and I still remember his birthday. I'm clearly very into astrology, which is like really cheesy, I know, but it's fun. I don't know, I just think astrology, the stars and stuff like that, the constellations, I read in a book somewhere a while ago that that's actually part of how they made the calendar. I guess parts of the calendar or like certain aspects of how they do the calendar is related to the constellations and the stars or something like that. Oh, and that reminds me, I was saying the other day how I wonder why the wind usually blows from the west. And one of my first guesses was because of the currents in the ocean or whatever. But then I actually remembered I did read about that online a while back. Recently I had forgotten what it said, back when I researched it a while ago, but then it did come back to me recently, why that is or why they say that is. I guess it's the way that the Earth rotates on its axis. It's like the direction, or it's something to do with how the Earth rotates, I think is what it said. But now I'm wondering, another thing that well, I don't think I researched this part yet, but now I'm really wondering, does the Earth rotate clockwise or counterclockwise? Or is that even a thing in space? That's another thing I'll have to Google because, yeah, I did read about something, the wind blowing from the west most of the time having something to do with the way that the Earth spins and rotates, but I don't think I ever came across which direction the Earth, but I guess it would make sense if it comes from the west, then it probably rotates counterclockwise, or yeah. My guess right now is if it blows from the west, it must rotate counterclockwise. Oh, I can't wait to look this up later. Although I did shut the data off from my internet browser on my phone to try to conserve data that way. But I'm gonna look this up on my laptop later tonight after my shift. I hope I don't forget. This is something to look forward to, is I can look this up later from my laptop back after. So I just have to get through tonight, you know, get through this shift, and then later I can look that up on my laptop. Oop. Then yeah, later I can look that up on my laptop, hopefully, when I get back to my apartment later. So also, yeah, obviously it's dark out and I'm gonna wrap this up now. My battery is tiny little sliver. So I gotta wrap this up for now, but I'm so proud of myself and glad that I was able to get out today and do this video. And I can't wait to look that up later online about which way the Earth rotates. And I really hope my guess is correct about it doing it counterclockwise, because that would make more sense if why the wind would blow from the west counterclockwise. Anyways, hope you guys are well, and hopefully I'll be able to come back on soon. I really hope this upload's okay. If not, I apologize. Still a work in progress, you know, but I'm gonna peace out for now and try to get back on again as soon as I can. Bye for now, guys.